Morning. Getting an early start today. I've already cleaned out the shop from yesterday and getting ready for today's work. So today we're going to try and get this rear bumper and tire carrier all installed. So let's open them up. Well, I guess we're going to have to start with the tire carrier. Just so you guys know, this is the Smittybilt Atlas rear bumper and tire carrier. It's designed more for overlanding, lots of attachment points for rotopacks or recovery tools, all kinds of stuff on this thing, and it has a spot to hold 2 jerry cans as well. Beauty. It's all put in here. Oh, pretty good. Wow. This is all the hardware. It is pretty heavy. All right, U-bolts. Lots of nuts and bolts. Cargo straps, I'm guessing for the jerry cans. Ooh, nice billet aluminum top for where the bearing is. And pretty good heavy duty mounting brackets. Everything's solid steel, really nicely welded and powder coated. So this should be awesome. Wow. Yeah, it's all pretty heavy duty. Let's open the bumper. Yeah, same thing again. It's all heavy steel construction, powder coated, nice welds. It's really strong. I like this one. It has a good departure angle on it. Not as extreme as some, but the amount of stuff going to be carrying on it, it's going to do the job pretty good. There you go, instructions. Seems to be split into large hardware and small hardware, but 2 bags with this one. Alright, I should also let you guys know that I'm not sponsored or anything by Smittybilt, although I'm using a lot of their stuff, I just like it. And also, good shout out to 4 Wheel Parts. They don't sponsor me either, but they had almost everything in stock when I ordered it. The rear bumper, front bumper, the winch, the snorkel. What else was there? The only thing they didn't have was the dual shock steering stabilizer I wanted. But it'll be here in a week. So yeah, it was all in stock. I was surprised, and yeah, almost done this project. Alright, so according to the instructions, first thing we got to do, take off the rear bumper and the tow package. Probably also going to take off my tire and diesel, air, heater, fuel tank and all that stuff. So I'm not going to bore you with all the details. Alright, it's all apart. Now let's get ready for the install. One of the first steps it says to do is install your L bracket and your frame rail on your passenger side. This is what they're talking about. It comes pre-greased. Right? Clean out all the mud and dirt that you're probably going to have in there like I did. Took me a minute to find it. It was in the box for the tire carrier. Get these so the holes will line up there. Okay, the edge. Now we're ready to get it up there. So you got L bracket nut plates in each side. I mistook in the instructions. It said to remove the tow kit. I thought they just meant for towing a trailer. Guess they meant the hook. And that is a pain in the ass to get off. This is a 16 Jeep, so there's some rust on the bolts. It's early in the morning. I'm trying to be quiet. All right. Little trick, lots of WD-40, and I used a breaker bar almost the entire way so you don't get that screeching sound when you're undoing the bolt. I do have a bad back from when I used to be in the military, so I'm going to use these jack stands, try and get it up there, step it into place, and see how it works, because this thing is heavy. Never mind, don't need to use the jack stands. Watch your fingers. We're putting these 2 bolts on each side, and you're just going to put them in loosely for now. There, start with one on this side and one on the other. Yeah, get a buddy to help you. Oh boy. All right, now the second one. Way back in there. Oh, hey. I'm a little out of breath here. Okay, so got the bumper in place with just the 4 frame bolts, outside rail bolts. Got it into place, put the forward bolt in on this side, forward bolt in on this side, then go back to the other side to put in the second bolt, and then back to the driver's side for the second bolt, because that second bolt, the rear one on the driver's side, for me was the biggest pain. Maybe it has to do with right-handed versus left-handed. I'm a righty. Next step, putting in these 4.5 inch bolts right there in the center where the bolts were for the tow package. So lock washer, regular washer, go from the fuel or the muffler side going back. All right, the 4 bolts behind your hitch receiver there have to be torqued down to, what was it, 80? Bumper hardware, 55 foot-pounds. 7/16 bumper hardware to 55 and the 1/2 inch bumper to 80. Okay, so these are going to 80 foot-pounds. I can only access the head of the bolt, so standard torque practices add 10%. Okay, so torquing these side ones. Don't forget in the middle we were torquing the head of the bolt, so we added that 10%. Now you got to take it out because we're, oh no, still torquing the head of the bolt, so leave it in. All right, so we're going to 88 foot-pounds. None of these are 1/2 inch like they were saying in the instructions. They're all the larger ones. And you'll need a crow's foot to torque the one back in there. Second. Come on. All right. Try to keep the snickering down. Okay, we have to grease the hole in the tire gate around each of these rings here, and then the pin that goes in. All right. Now lift into place. There we go. Nice. Gonna have this ring here, 6.5 inch by 7/16 bolt washer, another, call it a lock washer, and this little guy that they made up here for you with the nut in it. Okay, working on the tire carrier now. Match this up with your tire. Find out which holes in here will work to match up with the lug nuts in your tire, your spare tire. I hope you got a press, because wow, that was a pain in the butt. If you don't have a press, find a friend, pay a shop, get them pressed in. I used a big socket and my vise and a mallet and just beat the heck out of it until they were all the way pressed in. All right, with the Jeep lugs pressed in, put it in place. Here's the adjustable bracket, which on the furthest hole I hope it fits. Alright, so I only snugged up the top 2 bolts here, and I'm going to test fit the tire on it because I think it might not be out far enough for it, so just take a look. Just a minute, build up to this. Could actually bring that down some, I think. Although it does look kind of cool. Yeah, all you can see out the rear view mirror is tire. But I got 2 other mirrors. Okay, so the tire carrier is all bolted together. It's all torqued down. I got my 3rd brake light in place. Wires are just not hooked up yet. We're gonna put this on, torque it in, and then we're gonna adjust the tire carrier to make sure it doesn't drag when you slam it closed. Oh, here we go again. I like having the tire up high like this, get a better departure angle for when you're on the trails, but you're not going to be able to see through the rear view mirror hole. Careful when opening and closing this. Because it's not adjusted yet, it'll drag and scratch the paint. So I just adjusted the tire carrier. Where'd it go? There it is. So I loaded put a full jerry can of water on there for some weight, as far out as I could. And then you take a 3/8 drive ratchet, put one of the squares here, and you just churn it a bit until it's nice and smooth and it doesn't drag across the bumper when it closes. Then you torque this down to 18 foot-pounds. You want to make sure the striker still lines up. That's good. Now that that's all put together, time to install the billet aluminum Atlas cover. Line up the holes. The install is complete. Everything's torqued and set in place. I installed the 7-pin wiring harness for a trailer brake controller. It sits about the same level as the muffler or the exhaust tip there, so that's, you know, takes up a bit of the departure angle, but it's all good. Finishing touch. Got the shackles on there. Just got those off Amazon, but I'll put a link down below for that. Well, guys, just wanted to show you one more time the completed install on the rear bumper with the tire carrier. Got the shackles on there, got my tow hitch, 7-pin wiring harness for the trailer. I picked up a couple jerry cans. They fit in there pretty nice, 20 liters of fuel in each one. And they're also strapped in there with the straps provided with the tire carrier. I also made this little propane cylinder holder here, which is mounted in there pretty good. And that's just for my stove for cooking food. I'm going to be making a diesel tank that mounts down in between the two tanks, and that's going to be for my diesel air heater. And I'll also have the fuel pump and everything mounted inside it so I don't hear it clicking at night while I'm sleeping inside. I already used it for one trip. Didn't hear it rattling or anything, so it's a good solid install. Good piece of kit.